All right, Mr. Hugh and Mr. Matthews Senior, good afternoon. All right, and Mr. Nichols and Mr. Garner, good afternoon. And Mr. Ryan and Misty Williams, good afternoon. Okay, Ms. Altwinger, so I apologize. Good afternoon, madam. All right, and then from representatives from the state, Ms. Atkins, Ms. Love, and Ms. Hilton. All right, okay. Mr. Kokomo, good afternoon, sir. All right, Mr. Youssef, good afternoon, sir. All right, I think I got all the important people, really important people. All right, okay. Where's Ms. Knight?
It's her special days.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, let's summon our jurors then, okay? All right. Bring Mr. Copeland back in, please. Thank you. All rise for the jury. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All right, thank you, Officer Hudson. All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, good afternoon. All right, sorry you had to compete with the vice president in traffic today, so all of you that may have had to come down here today. So without further delay, we're going to go ahead and continue with examination for our current witness. Mr. Copeland, you're still under oath, okay?
All right. So yesterday we left off talking about your interview that you did on February 20th, 2015. Going back to the incident in which you, your girlfriend at the time, and your child was being shot at, do you remember seeing any of the individuals who shot at you?
I never saw no one that shot at me at that time.
Do you recall in that interview a period of time where the detective left the room and you were speaking with your girlfriend and you told her that you knew who shot at you?
I never saw nobody. I never saw who shot at me. If I saw who shot at me, I would never told the police who shot at me.
Do you recall in this same February 20th, 2021 interview that when the detective left the room, you said to your girlfriend, this shit not gonna work. Sit right here and be a damn snitch, so I'm gonna keep going. Do you recall telling your girlfriend that?
I don't recall.
Okay. And then she responded, so, you might be effect on the listener.
Overrule the objection, sir. Overrule, sir.
So what you're saying is why you acting like you did? And she said, you should have just said, no, I thought you know all of them. And you said to her, I do know who it was. Do you recall telling her that?
I know that I knew that I was being recorded. So I kind of knew what I was doing.
Okay. And then you said, I saw him. I did when he jumped out the car. I know exactly who I saw.
Nobody never got the car, so this clearly proved that I knew what I was doing.
Do you recall telling your girlfriend that?
I don't recall what I told her.
Okay. And this was when the detectives had left the room.
I don't recall if they left the room or if they stayed in.
Do you recall further in the interview when the detectives asked you whether or not any of the people who did this had ever been to your home, you instructed your girlfriend to tell the detectives who had recently been at the house?
I don't recall what I told them.
Do you recall the detective asking anybody you let come over to the house recently that normally ain't been by there? And then you told Deshaun, tell them who been there. Do you recall that?
If I brought anybody to my house, I'm 100% sure they know not to play with me.
Sure. Do you also remember when you and your girlfriend were in the room by yourself, you told your girlfriend it was Tay and them who did this to you?
I don't recall.
Was it Tay that shot at your vehicle?
I don't believe so.
Do you recall in that same interview being concerned about being labeled a snitch?
I don't care about what I'm being labeled as.
Let me ask you this. During this time when your home was when you were being shot at with your daughter and your then girlfriend, how many other family members' homes have been shot at that year?
Objection calls for speculation and hearsay.
I'll sustain as to speculation. I will overrule as to hearsay from Mr. Steele.
To your knowledge, how many of your family members' homes have been shot up back in 2015 after Nut died?
Objection relevance.
Overrule, sir.
I can't recall.
Do you know, okay, let me ask you this. Was your brother's home shot at?
No.
Okay. Was your girlfriend's mother's home shot at?
Yes.
Okay. Was your sister's home shot at?
Yes.
Was your grandmother's home shot at?
No.
Did you think you were being retaliated against?
Huh?
When all the shootings were happening at your family members' homes, did you think you were being retaliated against?
I didn't think
Did you know?
clearly.
Okay. Why were you being retaliated against?
Because people said I killed Nut.
And do you know who was doing the retaliation?
No.
Do you recall telling detective in the same February 20th interview that it was a whole gang after you?
Anytime the investigator talked to me, I do not recall what I have told them.
So you don't recall telling them there was a whole gang after you?
I would told them whatever I think that I need to tell them to convince them to start watching me.
Was there a whole gang after you?
I don't know.
Was the entire IF gang after you?
I seen a few of them, so I can't say that.
Which were the ones that you saw?
I don't know.
Earlier, I asked you about whether you were concerned about being labeled a snitch. Do you recall telling Detective Copeland,
Detective who?
excuse me, Detective Copeland, Detective Curry,
Now I'm a detective.
or was it, I made a mistake. I'm talking about
Correct.
Detective, Mr. Copeland. I'm about to ask you a question. Do you recall telling the detective, I know if I tell you what's going on, they're going to be on records and all this here, and you got to get, and you're going to get him locked up, and he's going to get his discovery package. First thing they're going to do is send it to two places, to the street and to prison, and float it all around the city of Atlanta, and then all around prison. But my name's over that. I'm not going that way. No, I'm not going through none of that. Look, they shot at me, my girl, and my baby. Almost shot my face off as we were running. I'm not for sure, but I thought I heard one of the bullets hit the car seat or grazed the car seat. Were you concerned about snitching in this interview?
I was concerned trying to get my story together, so I was trying to buy time.
Did you also tell in that same interview, I just know the trouble I'm putting myself in. Just know I don't want to have nothing. I don't want to have nothing, man. I can't go to no job. I can't do none of this shit. I know the street not going to be here forever. All things going on right now. Just waiting on you niggas to catch up and kill me. Again, not wanting to snitch on who did this to you, your child, and your baby.
My only motive was anytime the police questioned me was try to figure out how could I get myself out of it. Anytime they asked me any questions, I was trying to, if I couldn't come up with no answer right then and there, I was trying to buy time to think of something to say.
When you met with Mr. Curry, weren't you going there as a victim of an aggravated assault? When you went to go meet with the detective that's in that picture,
Okay.
weren't you going to talk with him about being a victim of a crime?
No, I was shooting back. So I thought they were going to try to lock me up for shooting back.
But during the course of that interview, were you made aware that they weren't planning on arresting you because you were protecting yourself?
When they said they would take me downtown, I put my hand behind my back and told him, you going to lock me up? Come on, get it out the way now.
And did they ever lock you up?
Because he wanted the gun. So he gave me 24 hours to give him the gun. When he let me go, I didn't come back with the gun. So they sent the SWAT team to my house to get me.
But when you went the first day, did they ever put handcuffs on you?
Because they wanted the gun.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
Go ahead and answer the question.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
One of the officers pulled him out, and he told him we don't need that.
Okay, so they never put handcuffs on you?
Oh, sir.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
I don't think so.
Okay. And when you left the interview, did you leave that interview without any handcuffs on you?
Yeah, I left. I went back to the streets.
So again, when you went in this interview, you were not in trouble.
I was.
Basis. Oh, sir.
Were you arrested at all on February 20th when you went to go speak to the police about being shot at? Were you ever arrested that day when you went down to tell the police about what happened to you, your child, and your girlfriend?
They locked me up the next day.
I asked you, were you arrested that day?
No, they locked me up the next day.
Were you arrested that day?
Objection, Your Honor, argument limited. It's an asked and answer.
Oh, sir.
Were you arrested that day?
No.
Did you want the police to go and find the people who actually killed Nut so that people would stop retaliating against you?
Yeah.
Do you recall being asked by the detective, you knew one of them. I know you knew one of them. Your face tells the story. Now, out of all the ones, I mean, you might know the other ones, but I know you know one of them because the face tells the story. Because the face tells the story of somebody being close that you trusted. And your response was, it ain't that. The truth is, I wouldn't say that person because I'm not 100% sure, but I know only one person.
What's the base of your objection, sir?
Foundation, predicate,
Okay.
transfer.
All right. Foundation and predicate, I'll sustain the objection. Go ahead and rephrase, madam.
Did you know at least one of the individuals that were shooting at you back in February of 2015?
On my daughter's life, when that car pulled up on me, all I saw was a gun come out the window. That's it. I never seen no one face. They was questioning me. They constantly kept telling me, you gonna let dudes shoot at you and your kids and this and that, and I'm telling them, and they won't believe me that I'm telling them I didn't see nobody's face. I didn't see nobody's face. And then after a while, I got tired of asking me, so I don't recall if I just went ahead and said, yeah, I seen Tay, I don't know how it came out, but in my heart, and still to this day in my heart, I do not believe Tay had anything to do with me getting shot at.
Okay. Do you recall telling your girlfriend when it was just the two of you, I did when he jumped out the car? I know exactly who I saw.
I don't, at that point, it was so much pressure on me. Yeah, you know what I mean, my daughter crying, trying to take her to the hospital. Somebody pull up on me soon. I'm trying to figure out what made me have the gun to go to the hospital. It's all type of stuff going through my mind. I don't know. Too much going on. Yeah, I can't, because she keep asking me these questions and...
Mr. Copeland, just take a breath, okay? We do need to take down your testimony, so you do need to speak a little slower, all right? Okay?
All right.
Are you? Can we continue?
I don't got nothing else to say.
About which part? Regarding the gun that you used to shoot back at these individuals, who were you going to give? Which police officer were you going to give the gun to?
Huh?
Which police officer were you going to give the gun to?
Neither.
Who did you tell them you were going to give the gun to?
Whichever one they were asking for it.
Do you recall them telling you needed to give the gun to Gaither?
I don't recall. I know they said they want that gun. It's part of the investigation. I knew it was a trick. I told him if he let me go, I go get it and bring it back. He went for it.
And why didn't you get the gun?
Huh?
Why didn't you go and give them the gun?
They help him lock me up.
At any point in time, did you ever get arrested for shooting back at those individuals?
Thank God.
Do you recall them asking you some more questions about Tay, and you providing them information about where Tay was from, what part of Atlanta he was from?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall the detective asking you, we only know there's a guy by the name of Tay. Where's Tay from? What area he live in? And you told him that he was from Simpson Road area. You recall telling the detective that?
I guess I don't remember what I said to him.
Do you recall?
Because at that point he had put too much pressure on me, and you know what I mean. I'm just thinking because he told me. I remember him saying he want that gun. That's all I remember him kept saying. He want that gun.
And when you say putting pressure, what do you mean?
Same thing you doing to me now. You keep putting pressure on me.
Okay. Was he yelling at you at all during this interview?
I think he kept saying, I'm letting people shoot at me while I got my child, and My loyalty to the streets, not my loyalty to my child.
So was he just trying to get you to tell him who did this to you, your child and your baby?
That's the same questions for him.
Did he ever threaten you to give a name?
Nah, but he kept asking me to make me say a name, and you like how you keep asking me a question. I'm gonna say something to answer you, so you can stop asking me the same question.
Were you concerned about how you were going to survive the attacks on you and your family?
Yes.
And again, were you concerned that because you had already spoken to the police about Nuts' homicide, that people were considering you a snitch, that people thought you were a snitch?
I don't get what you're saying. Can you say that again?
Were you concerned that people already thought that you were a snitch when you did this interview
What interview?
with the detective after you were shot at? After you were shot at with your girlfriend and your daughter?
No, my only concern was no.
Do you recall telling the detective in this same February 20th interview, I came and talked down here. Everybody look at me like I'm a snitch now. It's just like I can't get no money. You know, I was just getting money just by doing nothing. It's just like, hey man, I need to borrow this right here, just hanging around, going to the mall. He paid for everything, but all of them, now they all come out here, they think I'm a snitch.
I always got my own money. When I need money, I knew how to go get it.
Would Thug give you money at times?
I'm not a handout type of person.
Would Thug give you money at times?
I never asked Thug for no money.
Would Thug give you money at times?
I can't recall if he gave me money, but I never asked him for no money.
When you said he paid for everything, who were you referencing?
The big money, the ballers.
Okay. Were you concerned that Young Thug had washed his hands of you?
Huh?
Were you concerned because you had been speaking to police that Thug had washed his hands of you?
No. I didn't need Thug.
All right. Do you recall telling the detective in the same interview on February 20th, 2015, he asked you, so basically Young Thug washed his hands of you, and your response, yeah, because I came and talked to the detectives, and then folks in the street saying I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch. Nobody don't want to hang around me. I called my partners, they don't want to hang around me. It's like, what the hell all this come from? What the hell is going on? Do you recall telling the police that?
The police was so concerned about Thug, I was removing myself from him.
Do you recall at all talking to this detective about what happened that Monday night at Club Crucial with you and Kel, the fight between you and Kel?
I don't recall nothing specific that me and him talk about outside of the shooting with my child. And I barely remember some of this stuff. You talking about some years ago when I don't even know what I did 3-4 days ago.
Do you recall telling your girlfriend, again, when the two of you were alone in the room, no matter which way it go, I'm going to lose anyway if I tell them that Tay did it? You recall having that conversation with your girlfriend?
You say it again?
Sure. Do you recall being alone in that same interview room with your girlfriend and you told her, no matter which way it go, I'm going to lose anyway if I tell them that Tay did it?
On my child life, once again, on Azari life, I never seen no one face that was in that car shoot at me. At any time, if they got out the car, to this point, I never knew who shot at me. So when that detective was asking me, I just had to come up with something. I got no reason to lie about it. I didn't see nobody who shot at me. So y'all going back into interrogation when I'm telling you the truth. I don't know who shot at me. I have told them I didn't know. When they're gonna keep asking me, make me know, okay, cool. I'm gonna say, I'm done.
Do you recall being hesitant in the February 21st interview, and we're going to get to that interview with Detective Gaither, when she showed you a photographic lineup, and you actually eventually pointed Tay out of a photographic lineup?
Because I know Gaither. I mean, I know Gaither. I know that, I mean, she one of them people that she got it out from me, so I didn't care. I was just trying to get it out. I get them out for me and trying to convince her. And trying to convince her is very hard to do. So I had to go through with it, even though in my heart, I knew that he didn't shoot at me, or he would have never shot at me. And to be more clear on it, before I went back to jail the last time, I was right around him. So I would never be with nobody that I believe shot at me while I had my child.
Why did you say Tay did it versus anyone else?
First thing came to my mind.
Why was Tay the first person that came to your mind versus anyone else?
Because in the midst of trying to convince the police so they could leave me alone, I just got shot at. Only thing was in my mind was, get back.
Okay, but you had to beef with Kel. Why not say it was Kel?
Because I had to, I gotta make it seem, if I say Kel shot me, they're gonna, how you know? How Kel know where you stay at? So I gotta come up with something to make them know, okay, well, Tay been over here, you know what I mean? So, okay, Tay, I don't know, like,
But
listen, you keep asking me. I told you, I don't know who shot at me.
why would Gaither have it out for you?
That would be speculation, sir.
I stand the objection.
You said she had it out for you. What makes you think she had it out for you?
I'll let him answer that question. It's posed.
You said she had it out for you. What makes you think she had it out for you?
Because she was trying her best to get me. She was trying to catch me.
Didn't she advise you to leave town? But you're right, it's a contradiction of what?
Hold on. That comes from here. Where does that come from? Where does that statement come from?
His interview with her during the course of
I'm
it.
going to reference that all rule the objection.
In your February 21st interview with her, then she asked you to leave town, go somewhere else, Cobb County, Clayton County. Then she told you to lay low so that you wouldn't get killed?
No, she was saying it because she's saying that my name was, she just said my name kept coming up a lot.
Right, so she did not want you to be harmed. So why would she have it out for you?
I stand the objection. You can rephrase.
During the course of that interview, was she encouraging you to lay low? Do you recall her doing that?
I think I thought she was faking. So I don't know.
Outside of the interviews, would you talk to Gaither? Would you call Gaither on the phone?
No. The only time I talked to Gaither is when she called, but it was never about nothing in the streets or nothing.
Right, so
It was, hey, Miss Copeland, your name involved in the shooting. We want you downtown. This only time she called me, hey, Miss Copeland, they say you shot up this person's house. We need you downtown. I don't recall me and her having no conversations about nothing.
when you were locked up, would you have your girlfriend call Detective Gaither for you so you can speak with her?
You heard where I was, right? Where was I? In jail?
So if she had it out for you, why are you trying to call Detective Gaither?
Because I'm trying to, all she got to do is give me a name. I'm going to try to convince her so she can get me out of jail.
But if she has it out for you, why would you trust Detective Gaither?
I don't trust her. I'm trying to play on her.
I want to go back very briefly to the interview that you did, the first interview you did with Detective Gaither, after your car was shot up on the car was shot at on the highway.
Okay.
During that interview, at the time when your car got shot at, did you know about Lucci's mother's home being shot at?
What you mean?
Were you aware that Lucci's mother's home was shot at?
Huh?
When you met with Detective Gaither
Right.
about what happened on the highway, during that time period, were you aware of Lucci's mother's home being shot at?
No.
Do you recall talking to Detective Gaither in that January 28th interview about Lucci's home being shot at?
I can't recall.
During that interview, do you remember telling Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that Lucci's mama and dad got shot, so Nick called Big Boo's phone, and we was at Big Boo's house? Do you recall telling them that?
I don't recall.
Let me ask you this. Do you recall independently being with Big Boo and Lucci's manager calling his house, calling his phone, trying to give him $20,000 to find out whoever shot up Lucci's mama's house?
I'll stand this form. You can rephrase.
Do you recall being at Big Boo's house and someone from Lucci's manager calling Big Boo back in 2015?
I don't recall.
bring Mr. Copeland back in, please. All right, so you can continue when ready.
Thank you. So I'll just ask you again. Back in 2015, do you recall being with Big Boo when Lucci's manager called him?
I don't recall.
Do you recall telling Detective Dennis and Gaither in the January 28th interview, Lucci's mama and dad got shot, so Nick called Big Boo's phone. We was at Big Boo's house. And the first thing that nigga said was, hey, Boo, Lucci's mom and dad got shot. Somebody shot up his mama and dad. Somebody's house got shot up. It's $20,000. It's $20,000, man. There's $20,000 on their head, or whatever they said. And you heard that conversation.
I don't recall.
Okay. And once you heard the conversation, that you took the phone from Big Boo and you told the person on the phone, I ain't did nothing. I didn't do that, bro. You know, don't scream my name. I didn't do that. That person that you did not shoot up his mother's house. Do you recall doing that?
I don't recall.
And did you shoot up Lucci's mama's house? You shake your head just so.
No.
Okay. Now, back in 2015, who were the people that you would spend the most time outside of your family? Who were the people that you would spend the most time with?
Huh?
Back in 2015, outside of your family, who were your friends that you spent the most time with?
My friends.
Who?
You want me to name every single person?
Yeah. Okay. So who are the people that you would spend the most time with?
I can't recall.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that you only keep a couple people around you, and it's really just Little D and Shannon? Do you recall telling them that?
Probably so. I can't recall.
Okay. And then you also said sometimes Moonsoon, but he might come around, but not every day.
I don't recall.
And then you said, I really have my, then you also further went to say, I really wouldn't want nobody around me but Little D.
Your Honor, form of the question is my same objection.
I'll sustain the question. You can rephrase.
Sure. Between Shannon and Little D, who's the person you would have most around you?
Huh?
Between Shannon and Little D, who would you spend more time with?
I can't. I don't know. I can't. I don't know.
Do you recall telling Dennis and Gaither that I wouldn't want nobody around but Little D?
I probably said it because I was trying to run the play on them.
Okay.
But I don't remember what I said to them.
Back in 2015.
Anytime they question me, like I said, you keep asking me about what I supposed to told them. Anytime they question me, I just said whatever came to my mind or whatever I could have thought of in a split second. So I don't know. I don't know what I said to them.
Back in 2015.
Say that again?
Back in 2015, did you trust Little D?
No.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither and Dennis, I really have my trust in him? Speaking about Little D.
You said I really had my trust in him?
Yes.
No.
And then,
Go ahead.
And that little D ain't never going to turn his back on me.
I told you, I'm trying to tell them whatever they would have went for. Cause yeah.
The gun that little D from Cleveland bought from you from the pawn shop, what kind of gun was that?
I can't recall.
Do you recall it being, as you described, a chopper?
Probably so.
Can you tell the jury what you would describe as a chopper? What type of gun is a chopper?
I can't.
You don't know what type of gun a chopper is? Do you not know what type of gun a chopper is?
I don't know what I done told them.
I'm asking you separately. What kind of gun did Little D purchase for you?
A rifle,
Okay. Is a rifle a chopper?
I guess.
Okay. Have you ever had the occasion to give Nut back items that were stolen from him? Back in 2015 before he passed away.
Yeah,
First, who stole the items?
I didn't.
Do you recall telling me the other day that you did take the items?
Yeah, I said I don't.
Did you tell me
You
that?
just asked me did I give it back to him. I gave it back to him.
Okay. My question is, do you know who stole it?
Huh?
Do you know who stole it?
I stole it.
Okay. Did you tell me something differently?
I probably did.
Do you remember what you told me?
What did I tell you?
Do you recall what you told me?
I just asked you.
So do you not recall what you told me?
I told you I gave it back to him.
Do you recall telling me that you actually stole those items, but you did give it back to him?
You have an objection? Basis.
Prosecutor, the lawyer, becoming witness.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the foundation for the question or form of the question or what?
Is that the prosecutor testifying as personal knowledge?
Your Honor, I'm asking,
A cross-examination.
Your Honor, I'm asking a question, but I can clarify who all was in the room.
Yeah, why don't we do that? I'll sustain the question as to the
With me, Investigator Long, and maybe Investigator Lancico, and telling us in the room that it was you who stole it, but you did give the items back to him.
I can't recall.
When you gave the items back to him, do you remember where you were? Where did you meet him at?
In my neighborhood,
Okay. And was he with anyone when you met with him to give the items back?
I think so.
Do you remember who he was with?
Oh, I can't say who the people was that were with him.
Do you remember him being with Greedy, his brother?
Probably so. I don't know.
Do you remember just telling the detectives in that January interview he was with Greedy, his brother was there?
I guess I don't know. I can't recall.
Do you remember what type of car Donovan had? Oh, excuse me, Nut had.
A truck.
Do you remember what kind of truck?
It was just a truck.
Do you remember telling the detectives back in that January interview it was a green Tahoe?
Probably did. I don't know.
Do you remember what the items were that you gave back to him?
Yeah, his driver license, phone, and his necklace.
Describe for the jury, if you remember, what the necklace looked like.
What you mean?
Do you remember what the necklace looked like? Do you remember what the chain looked like?
Yeah, it was a necklace.
Was it a peanut? Do you remember?
Oh, I think so. Oh yeah, I think it was a nut. Yeah,
If you don't remember, it's okay.
I don't know.
about who you would hang around with from Mechanicsville. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither and Dennis back in 2015 that you're not going to see you hang with anybody besides Shannon and Dee, who was from Mechanicsville?
Shannon ain't from Canterville.
Do you remember?
I don't remember saying it.
Okay. And do you remember also telling the detectives that there's not going to be one time that you and Dee are not together?
I don't recall. But it's not gonna be no time that me, D, and Shannon is not together. Not just me and D.
So the three of you will be together?
When me and D together, it's me, D, and Shannon.
Okay. Now, we've talked about briefly another interview that you did with Detective Gaither after you were arrested for probation once your child and your child's mother was shot at. Do you remember that? And do you remember meeting with Detective Gaither after you had gotten arrested?
No.
When you met with Detective Gaither once you were arrested, as you discussed, were you upset that they arrested you for failure to comply with community service? I know you're shaking your head. You have to say yes or no for the record. During the course of that interview, where you asked to tell Detective Gaither about what happened with you, Deshaun, and your daughter?
I don't recall.
Do you recall in that interview also talking to her about Nuts' murder?
I can't recall.
And during this interview, do you recall telling her that on the day that Nut was killed, you initially were at home at Deshaun's house?
That's where I was, but I don't recall what I told her.
And that she got a phone call from Little D?
I don't know.
I'll sustain the objection.
We've already talked about where you were on the day that Nut passed away. Do you recall us talking about that over the course of the last few days?
I don't know.
Do you remember us talking about Nut's murder yesterday?
What you mean?
Do you remember me questioning you about where you were when Nut passed away yesterday?
You said you asked me that yesterday?
Yes, sir.
I Yeah, I guess.
Okay. If you don't remember, that's fine. Do you remember or no?
No, you didn't ask me yesterday.
Okay. Do you remember us talking about it since you've been on the stand, though?
Talking about what?
The day that Nut passed away.
Yeah, that's what it's about, right?
Okay. Cool. You're on permission to approach?
As long as you show that to the defense counsel, please.
I'm showing you what's the market says there was 378. D1, do you see yourself in that picture? Is that you?
I guess.
Does it look like you?
I guess.
Yes or no? Is that you?
If you say it's me, it's me.
I'm asking you, is it you?
Yeah, I guess. Yes, it's me.
And is that the type of Gaither?
You're like a man.
Do you recognize that to be Detective Gaither?
No, I can't tell if it's. I can't tell for real.
Was this? You have permission to. You have permission to approach?
As long as you show that to the defense counsel.
Mr. Coach, I'm showing you a portion of 378 Yankee Delta on here. Does that look, do you see yourself in this video? Yes or no?
Yeah.
All right. Looking at this group, are you able to tell who that is?
Yeah, that's her.
That's her?
Yeah.
Does that appear to be the same individual in the picture that I have in front of you?
It looked like the same picture.
Yeah, at this time, the state would like to tender Stacy Bill 378 Yankee Delta 1.
Any objection to states 378 Yankee Delta 1? Hearing none, it's admitted, may be published as you see fit.
Thank you. Mr. Carr, can you and April share? And if you could bring it down, Mr. Edson. No, down. And just scroll up. Thanks. Mr. Koba, are you able to see the dates and the time of that interview?
Yeah, right there.
What is the date and time of that interview?
February 21,
Okay, and what year is that?
2015.
Now, during this interview, do you remember anyone else being in the interview room with you? Do you recall Detective Thorpe was in there with you?
I don't know.
Okay. And during that interview, do you recall talking to Detective Gaither again about what happened between you, Deshaun, and your baby?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. And during that interview, did Detective Gaither also ask you who shot at you? Do you remember Detective Gaither asking you about that?
I don't remember.
Do you remember being concerned in that interview about being labeled a snitch as well?
I don't remember.
Do you recall Detective Gaither trying to encourage you to tell them who did it so she can help you so you don't have to be in the streets?
But if I already told them Tay did, why would she be asking me that?
Because you recall this being the first interview with Gaither. You had not met Gaither prior to this interview.
I don't remember what me and Gaither talked about.
Okay.
Or what I said to her.
Do you remember telling her, if I tell you anything, guess what happens? That make it even worse. What makes it worse? Everybody, oh, now I'm a snitch. And remember her asking how you would snitch when somebody was trying to kill you and your baby. How was that snitching?
Okay. If there was the truth, why would I wait till later or at any point and say anything to the police? It's self-explanatory.
What is self-explanatory?
The whole thing. You seen here tonight what I told to the investigator, and I'm so concerned about being labeled a snitch. So why would I tell them the truth to anything if they trying to say I'm concerned about being labeled a snitch? So if I'm gonna tell them something that sooner or later gonna get out in the streets, why would I be concerned about being labeled a snitch? It doesn't make sense.
Do you recall being reluctant to tell the detectives who it was?
No, I was trying to buy time to come up with something to tell them so they can get up off me or let me out of jail.
Okay. Would you, the interview that you had on February 20th, what time was your interview on February 20th, 2015? What time did
This paper?
what time does that say?
What about?
What time is it on here?
1:41
What, AM or PM?
a.m.
And then what time did you meet with Detective Gaither?
Well, look like I got on a Rice Street outfit, so I didn't meet with her. And it say 3:53.
On February 21st?
Yeah,
Is that PM?
p.m.
So did you meet with Detective Gaither the next day after you met with the first investigator?
Yeah,
All right.
that's what this say.
So if you just wanted to make something up, didn't you have time to make up a new name if it wasn't Tay?
See, with Gaten, it's harder to convince her. I got to, whatever I tell her, I got to stick with it.
Wouldn't you want to tell Gaither the truth if you were trying to get out of jail? If you were trying to get out of jail, wouldn't you tell her the truth?
But if she asks me about something that I don't know and I'm trying to get out of jail, I gotta act like I know.
Did you ever try just telling the truth to get out of jail?
Have I? Probably. I don't know what I don't told her, so I can't remember what I told her, so I don't.
How bad did you want to get out of jail?
I want to get out of jail.
So wouldn't you want to tell the truth to get out of jail versus lying?
Objection, I don't objection.
Wouldn't you want to tell the truth to get out of jail?
But if they ask me who shot at me, and I didn't see nobody shoot at me, and they constantly thinking that I seen somebody shoot at me, and I keep telling them I didn't see nobody shoot at me, they don't want to believe me, so what I got to do then? And if I feel like this is the only reason I'm going to jail, I got to stick to what I don't tell her.
So why tell your girlfriend that? When no police are in the room,
I don't know.
why tell your girlfriend that?
I don't know. I don't recall me sitting there just telling her that. I don't even understand how his name even came about from the start. I just know once I heard Tay, that's why I just stuck with Tay. I don't know if I brought it up. Which I doubt I brought it up because I didn't have no reason to bring your name up.
How would the police know who Tay was?
I don't know.
How would the police know Tay was in your neighborhood at the time?
I don't know.
So why would the police bring up Tay?
Then I said, I don't know.
I sustain the objection.
Do you recall providing Detective Gaither a picture of Tay before ever even getting into the interview room?
No.
Do you recall during the interview when you told her it was Tay, you told her, I gave you a picture of him?
I don't recall.
And do you recall her pulling up the picture and showing you the picture in the interview on her phone?
I recall her showing me a picture of him.
And do you recall not really wanting to point him out on there?
Because I knew at that point what she was doing. They was forcing me to say it was him who shot me. Because I like I keep telling you now, and to this day I still feel as in they did that. Like I never seen him shoot at me. Even when they called me, tried to get me to come to trial on it, I told them I'm not coming to trial because I never saw who shot at us. And they said, well, Mr. Cope, all right, y'all can call me. I didn't see who shot at me.
Were you concerned about being labeled a snitch because of what was happening to your cousin?
My only concern was not being able to protect my family.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that you were concerned because your cousin was being tortured because he was labeled a snitch?
My only concern was being in jail and not able to protect my family.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither, in referencing your cousin, well, he's getting tortured. Everywhere he goes, he's a fucking rat. Don't nobody want him around. This and that, this and that. And then he turned right around, and I'm in the same damn shoes he's in. But I won't. I don't know if he did whatever he had going on, but you didn't want to be labeled a snitch.
This is the police talking to me, and they're not trying to hear what I'm saying. They're trying to force me to say that somebody shot at me that I did not see shoot at me. I am trying everything in my power to not lie on this man. I'm not here to protect nobody that shot at me and my child.
Did you ever give Gaither the gun that you used in the to shoot back at those individuals who shot at you and your child and your child?
Nope.
Why not?
Cause you gonna use it against me.
Who did you get the gun from?
What you mean? Who I got it from?
Who did you get the gun?
I stand objection.
Do you recall being shown a photographic lineup with Tay inside of the photographic lineup?
Say it again.
In this interview, do you recall being shown a photographic lineup?
I think so.
Okay. And do you recall not wanting to sign the photographic lineup?
Right. I do remember.
Okay. Why didn't you want to sign the photographic lineup?
Because in my heart and from facts, I didn't see who shot at me, and they constantly kept trying to say, they kept pushing me to say, to make me think that I saw somebody I know I didn't see.
Right. I want to kind of switch gears. Do you know someone by the name of Trivia?
Who?
Trivia.
Who is that?
Do you know someone by the name of Trivia? Do you know who Moon Tunk's girlfriend was back in 2015?
No, I don't remember who his girlfriend is.
Okay. Do you know someone by the name of Aunt Trivia?
I never heard the name before. I don't know.
Okay. Do you recall talking to a Detective Lewis in the same interview regarding Trivia being Kel and Moon Tunk's girlfriend?
Oh, her? What about her?
So my question is, so do you now know who Trivia is?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Okay. And back in 2015, do you recall her home being shot up during the time of early 2015?
I remember.
Okay. And were you accused of shooting up her home?
This what she told the police?
Did you shoot up her home?
No.
In the 3 interviews we've talked about so far, were you asked by the investigators to tell the truth? In the interviews we've talked about so far?
It don't matter.
Yes or no? Do you recall being asked to tell the truth?
I don't know. I don't
God bless
recall.
you. God bless you. You don't recall if you were asked to tell the
I
truth?
don't.
If you were asked to tell the truth, why wouldn't you tell the truth in those interviews?
Why wouldn't I tell the truth?
Yes.
Because I know the police was trying to lock me up.
What would they be trying to lock you up for?
Say that again?
What would they be trying to lock you up for?
Whatever they can put on me.
Did you ever? Now, would telling the truth have gotten you locked up?
Huh?
I understand the question.
Now, in June of 2015, were you arrested for having a gun at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
Say that. Can you say that again?
In June of 2015, were you arrested for having a gun in the Dunbar Recreation Center?
In June, was I arrested?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Can you tell the jurors what occurred at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
I was playing basketball. The police came there and locked me up.
And why did the police lock you up?
Because I'm woody.
Did you have a gun at the Dunbar Recreation?
I had a basketball in my hand.
Was there a gun also at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
They say it was.
Where was that gun located?
I was placed in handcuffs, walked out. I don't know.
Did you have a gun inside of an H&M bag while at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
I was in the basketball. I was in the center playing basketball. I had my shirt off, no gun on me, playing basketball.
Did you take a gun to the Dunbar Recreation Center in an H&M bag?
I was playing basketball in the Dunbar Recreation Center.
So your answer is no, that you did not have a gun at the...
What I'm saying, well, I was playing basketball. When I looked up, I seen a whole bunch of police in there walking towards me, putting my hand behind my back, and asked me, was it bad mine? I said, I don't know nothing about no bad. They took me to the car. There was a whole lot more police that came. They took me from Mechanicsville to Turnerfield and asked me, was that gun mine or was that bag mine? I told them I don't know nothing about nothing. They said if they find out that that gun or that bag was mine, they gonna come back and lock me up. I said, do your job. They let me go, and that was it.
And did they let you go that first day?
They let me go.
All right. Did they actually arrest you for that gun in that bag?
They did.
All right. And was that the gun that was purchased by Quindarius Zachary for you?
I guess.
Yes, no, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I went to jail for.
Okay. So that was the gun, the chopper that we talked about earlier.
I'm an overruling objection. That was Mr. Steele. Asked and answered.
Was that the chopper that we discussed earlier?
We discussed this earlier?
The gun that was recovered, is that the chopper that was purchased at Arrowhead Pawn Shop by Quindarius Zachary?
That's the gun that sent me to the feds.
And is that the gun that was found at Dunbar Recreation Center?
I guess so.
Why did you have the gun at Dunbar Recreation Center?
I just plead guilty to it.
Did you tell officers that you were trying to sell that gun, and that's why you had it at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
Again, I was going to jail.
So before you posit some other questions, I think we probably need to take a comfort break. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take about 10 minutes and see where the afternoon leads us, okay? All right. All rise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our jury is left us for recess. President? All right. Thank you, David Hudson. All right. Members of the jury, with your indulgence and patience, we're going to go probably about another 20 minutes or so, and then we're going to recess for the day, okay? All right. Madam?
Set were you a part of?
Can you repeat that?
What blood set were you a part of?
What blood set what I was part of?
Yes, sir.
I wasn't a part of no real blood set.
Did you ever claim to be a Billy Blood?
I said I was.
Gaither that you were, I mean, not Detective Gaither, Detective Lewis, in that February 21st interview that you were Billy Blood.
I don't know what I told them in when they questioned me.
Okay. Do you recall talking to Detective Lewis about the meeting with, remember talking to Detective Lewis about the meeting with Mo, who was in prison, and that they were planning on killing you?
I don't recall.
Okay. And do you recall her asking you why you weren't at this meeting?
Huh?
Do you recall her asking you why you weren't at this meeting?
Why was I at the meeting?
Why were you not at the meeting?
At what meeting?
The meeting with the Bloods. And do you, sure, February 21st.
What year?
2015. And then, do you recall telling her you weren't down with them, but that you were Billy Blood? Now.
I don't recall.
Okay. And you told her, at that point they got mad.
I told her.
You told Detective Lewis.
Oh, this a lady?
Yes. At that point they got mad because I didn't go back with them. I started hanging out with Thug and them, so I'm YSL.
No.
Part of the gang YSL.
Basis.
It's an improper question. It's
I got you. If you just speak, I just want you to give me the basis.
702 in Bates Province.
Overruled, sir.
Did you consider yourself part of YSL, the gang?
Gang.
When did you consider yourself 372?
What you mean? When?
Did you consider yourself a 372 when you called yourself Billy Blood?
I always been 372.
So even as a part of YSL, were you consider, or do you consider yourself 372?
Gang.
So,
372 when you speaking on gang.
yes or no? Did you consider yourself a part of YSL?
But you saying gang wise, like
So you did not consider yourself part of YSL, the gang?
when it come to gang, I consider myself 372.
When you were arrested for the Fed charges. We talked about the gun that was at the Dunbar Center. When you were arrested, where were you arrested at?
Which time?
When you got arrested in June?
June 10th?
Yes.
At the house.
Did they find any guns at the house?
Yeah, they did.
Were you charged in your federal charges? Arrested, were you brought in to Atlanta Police Department headquarters for an interview?
Yes,
Okay. And do you remember how long the interview was?
it was long.
Do you remember it being about 9 hours?
It was long.
It was long. Okay. And during the course of that interview, did you speak with multiple detectives?
Yeah, I did.
Do you remember speaking with anyone from the ATF
Yeah, I did.
and was Detective Gaither in that interview?
She was at some point.
What about Detective Dennis? What about Detective Thorpe?
I think he was too.
Okay. And when you were arrested and brought down to APD, did you want to give them truthful information?
Again, I was going to jail.
Do you recall telling them sure? In the early part of that interview, do you recall telling them you're not going to have to worry about me lying?
Probably so.
Why did you want to speak to the police that day?
Because I was trying to finesse my way out of jail.
And what did you think you had?
So, that's the direction I had to go.
Did they ask you about anything else?
They asked me about the gun. I think they asked me about the gun first.
Did they ask you about anything else?
Yeah, they asked me about a lot.
Do you recall them asking you about Nuts murder?
Yes.
And did you speak with them about Nuts murder?
Yes.
And did you speak with them about the gun at the Dunbar Center?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And did you talk with them about Little D from Mechanicsville?
Yes.
And what about Shannon?
Yes.
Now, when you got to that interview, did you believe that people were trying to kill you?
I thought people trying to kill me for a long time.
Specifically in June, did you still believe that people thought you snitched on them regarding the murder of Donovan Thomas?
Can you say it one more time?
Sure. When you had this interview in June of 2015, did you think going into that interview
Oh, no, I'll take that back. I'm just saying the questions.
why did you think people were trying to kill you?
Because I was paranoid. People were shooting at me.
Did you tell the detectives in this June 10th interview that everyone in the world is trying to kill
And on them that people were trying to kill me because they said I killed Nut.
Do you recall telling the detectives about the fact that that Thug's sister had called you or had texted you?
Can you say?
To the police about Nuts murder?
I text her and told her that I was going to kill Thug when I get.
Text her that you were going to kill Thug when you get a chance.
Because I let a lot of people get in my ear.
And what did they get in your ear about? Its effect on the listening line.
Also, objection.
What did they get in your ear about?
A whole lot of stuff. People coming to me every 5 minutes with something.
What about the,
Man, they just kept coming to me like he ain't right. He ain't supposed to. I don't know how to answer it.
I mean, but what were they telling you such that you thought that you had to kill Thug?
Say it again.
What were they telling you such that you thought in your mind you wanted to kill him?
That to watch him because everybody saying I killed Nut and they didn't want that on them, so they gon' I don't know. So
But to kill somebody, what were they telling you to make you think you had to kill Thug?
what did they tell me to make me think I had to kill him?
Yes.
That I better watch him?
Why?
I was pulling him in stuff that I got going on. Like they were saying all type of stuff.
So why would you messing up his career mean you have to kill Thug?
A female came to me and told me that she heard something. Then another person came to me and told me that he heard something. So people kept coming to me and I was paranoid because I had said something to a friend of mine where I felt as in
What did you tell your friend? That guy that you think got back to him?
I was planning on him. I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall telling the detectives that you called that and was cursing you out?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is years ago. Do you remember what she was cursing you out about?
Because I told her I was going to kill Thug when I see him.
Okay. Do you recall the last 4 digits of the number? Do you recall giving that full phone number to the detectives?
No.
Do you recall giving them a phone number for his sister?
Probably so.
Which sister are we texted you?
Dolly.
Okay. Did she have another name?
I said Dolly.
Do you recall texting Dolly, damn, your brother's trying to have me killed?
I probably have.
Okay. Why would you text her that?
Because I thought what I was said to somebody
Else that you thought got back to him?
I don't recall.
Okay. What Dolly, damn, your brother's trying to have me killed. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell I ever did to him? Why would you text that to her?
I told you I was paranoid. It was so much going on. It was so much going on here. And that's just my way of trying to force a reaction
Force a reaction from who?
from him. Because I didn't know what the truth was. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on.
Now, we talked about in February, strike that. We talked about in January, people thinking that you had killed Nut.
Huh?
Did people think that you killed Nut, excuse me?
Objection calls for speculation.
Did you believe that people thought that you killed Nut?
Did I believe it?
Yes. By the time we got to June, did you still have got arrested in June, did you still have that same belief that people thought you had done, that you had killed Matt?
So many, it was so many people was on so many people was just like, a lot of people said they know I didn't do it. But a lot of people said I did it. No.
Okay. Now, when you got to this interview, do you recall speaking with the detectives about the night that Nut was killed? When you got to this June interview, do you recall speaking to the detectives about the night that Nut was killed? The June one?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you have concern during observed you speaking to police?
Huh?
Did you have concern during this June interview that Thug has seen you speaking to police?
No.
Do you recall telling the detectives in this June interview, long story short, the detectives was calling my phone and he was right there? And you said, yeah. So I answered the phone and he's looking at me like this, but I don't know what's going on. They asked you, why is he looking like that? And you said, because he see me answering the phone for them.
He told me that when I answered the phone, I answered my phone on speaker, so it was my baby mama calling saying that the investigators wanted to talk to me. I was like, for what? And he got on the phone and asked me, could I come down there and interview him? And Thug like, go down there.
Why were you concerned then that he saw you?
I don't know about him being concerned.
Why would you tell the police that?
Because it's the police.
If there was need to tell the police that Thug was
Because at the time the police questioned me, it was me against everybody. So they saying that they want Thug, and that's what I'm trying to do. Get them up off of me. Phone the day before they locked me up, and I touched their phone and told them that I was gonna kill him when I see him. So the police got me the next day, and when they got me, that was it.
Let's go back. In June, you said you texted Thug. Who did you text?
One day, I texted their phone. I called his sister and told her, tell your brother when I see him, I'm gonna kill him. Kill him. Me and her were arguing on the phone. As me and her were arguing on the phone, I got mad and hung up the phone. The very next day, 2 days later, I know I woke up and the police was at the door.
Okay.
When they got me, I was mad with the world.
And were you arrested again for those guns?
Yes.
All right. And that's the only thing you were arrested for those guns.
I think they put some gang charges on me or something. I think they put some more charges on me or something.
And I understand that you said you texted his sister Dolly that you were going to kill.
Nah, I don't think I texted. I told her over the phone that I was gonna kill her.
Of you asking her whether or not he was trying to kill you.
Oh no, I didn't ask her nothing
Okay. So why did you tell the detectives that?
because it's the detective.
Learned that Thug did not want to hang around you anymore because you had been talking to the police.
No.
Do you recall telling detectives in the same June interview he ain't want to hang around me anymore. Thug, and he said, yeah, like, damn, what the hell? Why the hell these niggas don't want me around? Do you recall being concerned that Thug did not?
Well, he actually called me a few times to try to get me to come around. I didn't want to go around.
So why would you tell the police why the hell these niggas don't want me around?
Because I'm talking and they are after me.
When you were arrested, were you not trying to get out of jail?
For sure.
So why would you be telling them lies if you were trying to get out of jail?
So let me say this. If I tell the police the alphabet is A, B, C, D, right? The police gonna tell me what come after D. E ain't A, B, C, D, E. Man, I don't know, man. I'm not about to go through all that. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, this is the investigators. They lock me up. They targeting me. They constantly, every time I come outside, spit on the ground. SWAT team got me. Like,
Why would you stay in a 9-hour interview if they were out to come and get you?
you see what you said? That's how bad they was after me. They sit right there and put up with me for that long.
Okay, but you kept talking to them for the entire 9 hours. Did you speak with them for the entire 9 hours?
I was handcuffed behind my back, legs shackled to the chair. And guess what I know? When I get finished talking to them, I'm going to the jail. So guess what I'm trying to do? Trying to buy as much time as I can before I go to the jail. That right there.
All right. Can you publish return a Yankee Echo 161? Is that June 10, 2015?
Yeah.
And is that the interview that we're discussing right now?
Yeah.
Is that when you were first brought in once you were arrested? Are you still in your regular clothes?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes for the record?
Yes.
Now, sitting in this room, did you believe that the truth would have hurt you? Interview.
It's not about the truth hurting me. It's about the state of mind I was in.
Okay. But did you believe the truth would have hurt you?
I don't know.
So why won't you tell the truth?
Because I'm about to go to jail. So the state of mind I'm in is I'm about to go to jail.
Right. To get out of jail?
It have.
Didn't they tell that they were going to have to verify any information you told them?
They did.
Okay. So why would you tell a lie if they had to verify what they told you and you were trying to get out of jail?
I don't know.
Did you believe the truth would hurt Thug?
Say that again.
Did you believe the truth was going to hurt?
You said, do I believe the truth gonna hurt Doug?
Yes.
That'd be his problem.
Right. But if why would you be in there just telling lies?
Because that's who the police after. They locking me up, but they are after him.
But they're locking you up and you are trying to get out of jail. Wouldn't you tell the truth to get out of jail?
It depends on who is the truth to.
Okay. Now, during the course of your interview, did the detective ask you, why were you so concerned about whether or not Thug knew you were talking to the police?
Can you say it again?
Let me just ask you a better question. Why were you concerned about whether or not Thug knew you were talking to the police?
I wasn't concerned.
Do you recall why does it matter to Thug if you're talking to the police or not, if he has no say in what happened with Nut? And your response is, between us men, I want to say they had something to do with it.
What about it?
Do you recall telling that to the detectives?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. And then when they asked you who was the they, do you recall saying Thug and them?
Okay.
Did you recall saying that?
Yeah.
And then they said Thug and them who? And you said Shannon and Bentley.
Say that again?
Sure. When they then asked you Thug and who, you responded Shannon and Bentley and all, because all of them just acting funny towards me.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would you say that?
Because it's the investigators.
Again, why say Shannon? Why say Shannon?
Because they know me and him be together. It's easy to, it was Shannon to get, I don't know, like, I told you it's the state of mind I was in. When the police got me, I was doing a lot of stuff. I was, man, like, they just caught me early in the morning, like.
Early in the morning, is that not when you're your freshest?
Huh?
And early in the morning, is that not when you're your freshest?
No, they can't get me out. I'm asleep. I hear the door. Boom, 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 boom. If I'm asleep and she sleep, who being at this door like that? So it shot my brain. I've been shot ever since I looked at those scene of the police. I can't forget it. Like.
So,
Okay.
all right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this might be a natural point for us to recess for today. Mr. Copeland, we'll see you Monday morning at 8:30, okay?
8:30?
Yes, sir. See you then. All right, our witnesses left us. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do you have any ministerial inquiry with me? Okay, remember next week, middle of the week, Wednesday is Juneteenth, and it is a holiday which the county observes, so we will not be holding court on Wednesday, okay? So, as for the other questions you all asked me about the early part of July, haven't made a decision on that. So more to follow a little bit later on that, okay? All right, anything else with me? Okay, all right. Let's review as so we can get you on the road. Remember to leave your notepads in the basket. Do not bring them home with you this weekend or at any point in time. You need to stay in your headquarters. Next thing, ladies and gentlemen, as you are walking out, coming in, going to any place in the courthouse, to include the bathrooms, or when you're coming in the morning or at home, remember you're not authorized to talk about this case with anybody, all right? And remember, as I told you many times before, you cannot recap, handicap, otherwise review, or comment on any witness's testimony amongst yourselves. Remember, I told you that that would be a violation, and you cannot consider this case until such time as the court tells you that you can, and I will give you instructions on how you to do that. All right, remember, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot go by and visit any of the scenes that may be depicted. You cannot take any pictures, do any diagrams, or otherwise share any information that you may know about anything that's been testified to this far. You can only consider what's been lawfully presented within the four walls of this courtroom. That also pertains to other testimony you may have heard. Remember, it would be a violation for you to go to any third-party sites, websites, reference materials, or anything that would otherwise aid in your understanding or augment your understanding. Remember, you can only consider what's been presented within the four walls of this courtroom. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if anybody should try and reach out to you and by any means, mode, or of conversation or conveyance, remember that your duty is to report that to myself as well as Sergeant Ingram immediately. All right. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, please resist temptation to listen to any third-party recaps to this particular trial or anything that may be going on. As remember, you can only consider what's presented in the four walls of this courtroom, okay? All right. And ladies and gentlemen, lastly, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your attention that you've given to our advocates and to the court, and the continued patience and attention that you'll continue to give to as you consider this matter, okay? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that celebrate Father's Day or have fathers, brothers, or uncles, or any other significant men in your lives, happy Father's Day to all of you, okay? Anything else? Okay. All right. We're in recess until Monday at 8:30. All rise. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All right, councils, any ministerial inquiry of me? Okay, anybody else? All right, happy Father's Day to all of you. That now, as I mentioned to the jury, or those particular people in the lives that we consider to be important that are males. All right, and with that, we'll see you all on Monday, okay? All right, we're in recess. All right.